Let's go. Look up to the stars. Let's shoot for the moon. Let's go. Let's get it. To the stars and beyond the unknown. Let's go. Here we go now. Under palm trees where the ocean hums, your silhouette glows like a cosmic drum. Moonlight dances on your skin so fine, a universe of love in your island eyes. Steel drums whisper, waves kiss the shore. My heart's a comet, it's yours to explore. Girl, beyond the stars, you're my cosmic flame, lighting up the night, calling out my name. Island tides and the moon aligns in this love, we're endless, no space or time. Oh, girl, beyond the stars, you're my paradise. In your orbit, I'm alive, under starry skies. Your laughter's a melody, soft ukulele strings, a supernova love, oh the joy it brings. Lucid dreams in a coral reef glow. We're weightless, baby, where the cosmos flow. Hold me closer as the planets sway. Our love's a tide that won't fade away. Girl, beyond the stars, you're my cosmic flame, lighting up the night, calling out my name. Island tides and the moon aligns in this love, we're endless, no space or time. Oh, girl, beyond the stars, you're my paradise. In your orbit, I'm alive, under starry skies. Yeah, let's sail on moonbeams where the trade winds sing. Your love's a constellation, my everything.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Aloha Friday, and happy Aloha Friday to everybody. It is the end of the week. We are here, guys. Happy Star Wars month. I can't believe we finally made it. It's time to relax and chill. But before we even do any of that, let me get my wife into the studio right now. Dee, how are you?
I'm great. It's Aloha Friday. No work till Monday. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And it's the first Friday of the
You
month.
made me do the flappy fingers. I did the flappy fingers.
Those are trees. That's what they are.
Is
Trees.
that what they are?
I'm-
They're palm trees.
Or palm trees. How are you, Hinano? I'm great, by the way. How are you?
I'm really good. Happy Star Wars month right there. And also happy Star Wars month to everyone else that is enjoying it. Now, I am a Star Trek guy, but I do like to give props where it's due. So for all you fans out there, I hope you guys are going to be able to get whatever you want, whether it's collectibles for digital, physical, or anything in between. But we have an action-packed show today, Dee. Why don't you let everyone know what's happening?
Yeah, so we have the pleasure and the honor to have two lovely brothers. Well, is that a good adjective to describe them? Lovely? I don't know.
Very
But
lovely.
it's a
Lovely.
very lovely. Awesome. Okay, awesome dudes in the space. Yeah, we actually met them both in real life. Woohoo, Decon. Yeah, so they're gonna be premiering not one, not two, but three of their awesome videos. So we're gonna take a dive in. Yeah, Ekolu. 3 for Hawaii. Now you know too much.
No. Tree. In Hawaii, you guys say tree.
Brah. Okay.
Brah.
Anyway.
Hey, brah.
Man, I'm losing my train of thought. Anyways,
look at
yeah.
that. I threw
So
off.
we have two awesome brothers in the studio, and they're gonna come and share with us 3 of their videos that they've done, and just kind of talk with us and get their backstory on how it all came to be. So yeah, very excited. I'm very excited to talk with them and get their behind the scenes stuff.
Same here, guys. And just so you have an understanding who is here, we have Anonh, who is the director of Fro and Bro Productions, as well as Fro himself, who is the man in the wig. So very excited to see them both grace the presence again. I mean, everybody knows Fro. He's kind of like a couch around here since he kind of helped start this place. And then you guys remember Anand from the interview with David Yu at the end of 2024. So action pack episode, guys, and I'm looking forward to it. And why don't we get them into the studio right now?
Yes, roll it.
All
Bring
right,
'em in.
guys, roll that beautiful beam. No, forget that. All right, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, Fro and Bro Productions. We have Anand and Fro Ikomi. How are you guys both doing? Anand, let's start with you. How are you, my friend?
Pretty awesome. Aloha Friday. Thank you for inviting me on. Appreciate it. It's been a great Friday so far. Super excited to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Of course. And you, Fro, how you been, man? Returning guest. How many times is this already?
I've lost count. No, thank you for having us on again. Guys, it's like the first time all over. Gonna get butterflies, and I'm super nervous, and hopefully I don't fumble on my words. But it's Aloha Friday.
I don't believe you. I mean, when you put that wig on so many times, I don't believe you, man. But guys, thank you so much for coming on. I know there's a limited time with you guys, so I kind of just jump right into it. So besides the fact that you guys are going to be airing 3 new videos from your guys' new moniker that you guys are calling yourselves, I kind of want to take a step back and find out, specifically, Anand, how did you find the digital collecting space? Was it with you and Fro? Was it something that you discovered and then Fro figured that out after? Like, kind of give us your journey of how you found this space to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not a big collector like Fro is, I don't have like this, collection where, I have a box full of, let's say, comics or any other collectible. But I do have family that collect, Fro, obviously, but I have other family members that are really super, collect. They love collecting, like, for example, like Transformers or other things. So I'm like the outsider looking in, but I do like, all these like Disney, right, Marvel and all of that character wise. But collecting is just not for me. It's just when I see things, I like to open it. I can't just like keep it and put it in like a shelf. I'll ruin it like in 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So so that's kind of like how I am. But when the digital, or should I say the NFT came about, I was like, what is this thing, right? What is this digital NFT and this crypto environment? Kind of looking into that. And when I saw when Disney and Vivi, I think it was by either a family friend or a friend, introduced that. I'm like, what is this? Disney, Marvel, what is this thing? So I got curious, right? Just like anything else. And I kind of like that, that web, that, I would say the internet, the Web3, the 3D environment. I always like that because that's kind of like in my business where I'm always on the computer, designing things. So that's kind of in my realm already. So when I saw that, I'm like, that's interesting, but then, it's like, well, it's a collectible. What is that? Well, how do you collect, digital stuff, right? As a new user, like you don't know anything, right? You just go in there kind of like, okay, I like, Marvel. I like, these characters, but, to own it, how do you own it? How do you keep it? How do you, go about doing all those things? So when I dive into it, then it's like, wow, this is cool, right? When Vivi first started, right, early, then you see this, I would say this crazy dash of trying to collect things where things are very, back then it was like, like boom, you get a wallet or you get a let's say
exponential value.
Yeah, it's like wow, it's like 10,000 gems. It's like, what is this? This is crazy, right? Crazy. So that factor into it as well. and that's how I kind of got into it, and also, with the characters and all these things, um, I enjoy them, as I enjoy, like playing with them, right, in AR, or just taking a photo, and me and Fro would just do these weird, like you saw some of our videos. Hey, let's try this, right? So
Yeah.
we kind of play around with it, as a hobby, nothing too serious. It's just for fun, and it
Yeah.
still is right now. It's just for fun. As we get into it, like a year or two, we went to Comic-Con, and then having to meet, of course, David Yu and the team. That adds on to the excitement, and then of course VV team and the family, you guys, and it's just keep on, like adding to the, I would say, the family, the growth, and the the fun, and everything else. So here we are, right? This is just awesome.
So I take it that you are like me, where you were a kid that wanted to play with all your toys and rip them out of the blister packs. Because I was that kid as well. That's why half of the toys that I own that were probably collectibles aren't worth anything anymore.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I can kind of see that now. Like you still want to play with the toys, but now it's kind of like evolved into like video production, where you're not only playing with your toys, but you're also creating content while you're able to also have fun in this project. So you kind of have the same story as me, as you kind of came in here with that exponential value growth in between as well, and then you end up enjoying, I guess, the experience and meeting people. And so essentially now, I mean, you say you're not really a big collector, but you do collect. What are some other projects besides Vivi that you're fond of, that you still collect till this day?
Collecting for me, like I said, it's not that big part of my hobby, but because of Vivi, that's kind of funny, because there's digital, and then you see the physical, like comics, right? When you go to Comic-Con, right? Man, I do want to have that comic, just like the one on Vivi, right?
Yeah,
So
there's a
I became
lot.
physical collector because of Vivi, and I have a few collectibles right now on my shelf that's not open because of Vivi. So yeah, I mean, it basically transformed me into a physical collector now.
Got you. And
Yeah.
so when you guys were growing up, so who was the one that had most of the toys? Was it you, Anon, or was it Fro over here? I
Bro
don't know
had
who's. You're both pointing at each other.
he was like what, 2 years old? The guy was like 2 years old. I mean, he would have all these collectors. I mean, it's just, yeah, he has all that stuff.
Okay, so essentially, like, what when growing up, then, so like, you guys played with your toys. Like, what were some of the I guess IPs that you really enjoyed as a kid, and is any of those IPs now in these projects that you're collecting?
I am big into anime. That's where
Ah,
I am.
Oh.
Of course, growing up, watching Transformers to like GI Joes. I mean, those early days. Then of course you get into now the modern anime, right? With even Dragon Ball, right? It's
Mhm.
just I grew up watching those through high school, and even right now, like there's adult anime, right, that have good storylines. I still follow it, so I think anime would be my area where I enjoy.
nice. And you, Fro? Like, is there a stark
Mm,
contrast between the two? Because I'm trying to figure out the dynamic of Fro and Bro Productions, because it seems like you're the director. You kind of have the vision to like create this stuff, write it out. I know we've discussed in the back channels before about content. So if Fro's kind of like the guy in the wig, what was your type of IP growing up? But just to have an understanding of both of you as kids.
I
Fro.
would, for me,
Oh.
I don't think of like an IP. Are you asking Fro? Or you asking me?
Yeah, well, so essentially, like, because like when you grow up as a kid, like me, I can remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Ghostbusters or something like that, like something that like that resonated with me back then, and now that like I'm collecting again, it's something that still resonates with me too. You said that you were like big on anime, and so that kind of like gives me an idea of like you know why you're in the director's role right now, but versus Fro, he's kind of like the guy in the wig. So what was his IPs, or what was his type of cartoons or heroes that he liked growing up, just to have the stark contrast? Or were you guys both kind of the same? Did he like anime as well?
Okay, Fro, you can answer that.
yeah, anime. We got into Dragon Ball Z pretty heavy. What, not in the '90s when it came out? Like we were all like Dragon Ball T-shirts, and we're
Yeah.
like, just like, yo, did you
Well,
see the new episode? Yeah, like like.
we got Dragon Ball crazy basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
like,
Okay.
but yeah, like I was more into Transformers. Because when I was a little bit older, he kind of missed that age gap where he was a little bit older, and it's Transformers are
What
cool.
were they
You know,
called before, though, Fro? They weren't called Transformers first, right? They were called something else.
um,
And I can't remember the name. I remember you told me what they were called because I remember I called your brother up, Anon. I was in this collectible shop and I said, "This looks like Transformers." You remember that, Fro? And we had this conversation, and you said you were trying to find that similar Transformer, which was the first iteration of Transformers.
right? Yeah, they were called Diaclones.
Diaclones,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
yeah,
Okay.
Diaclones.
Diaclones. So Diaclones were, Takara. They're pre-Transformers. All the molds they use for the Diaclones, Hasbro brought them to the U.S., repackaged them, called them Transformers, kind of like how Pokemon were what they called Pocket Monsters before. And so then they just recolored everything. So all the Transformers that are from the '80s, they were recolored from the original Diaclones that Takara had put out before. And I got quite a few of them. Some are in boxes still, and they're worth a pretty penny. So a lifetime to collect, brother, a lifetime. So
Yeah. So see, so when you ask about IP, it's not we enjoyed like say anime or Star Wars or anything else like sci-fi. I love sci-fi. You say you like Star Trek. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
any sci-fi film from Aliens to Star Wars to whatever. I mean, Terminator. These sci-fi.
80s sci-fi.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's that visual thing, right? For us, it's just we enjoy it. But in terms of like directing, I mean, you know, Fro's a character, right? I mean, I can't be, but the guy he's a natural, and he does his crazy
Don't
things.
sell yourself short, man.
So it's naturally where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make this guy do this, that, and the other thing, right? Why not? And just create content so that we ourselves can enjoy while we showcase it to the family and the community, and to grow the space and all those things. So we're just looking for basically fun, just to enjoy, because I think in this environment, I think there's a lot of like, there's different sides, right? People who are maybe fudders or other, they have their own, whatever. But for us, we just looking out, to create and build the space, and to have a place where just like you guys, others can come and enjoy with us, basically.
And I love that, and I'm glad that you kind of brought it up like that as well, because like we're big on trying to perpetuate this space and move it forward in a positive manner as well, and more of like a collaborative effort, right, versus like competition.
Exactly.
Because I think if this space blows up, the experiences increases. It's a rising tide lifts all ships. So I'm happy that that's the mission statement that you guys are going for in terms of the content you're trying to put out there. D, I'm gonna pivot to you and go ahead and ask some questions.
Yeah, I was gonna just say that it's really cool that you both have each other, because there's a lot of people in the space that came to the space because they what oh key yeah, you guys have something special because there's a lot of people that come to this digital space, and connect with other people from all over the world because they don't have that in their real life. Like they don't have, like, their wife or their husband may not be into that same digital collecting and Web3, being in these scam projects, whatever you want to call it. So that's really cool that you guys have each other to, like, whiskey and BB. That's not financial advice to anyone who's watching. But yeah, so it's pretty cool to see you guys have like that passion, and you can share that with each other. um, no matter how your collecting style is, whether you're obviously the collector, more of the collector Fro, and Anon is, he goes for whatever he feels like at the moment. But I had a question regarding the acting and producing. So when I was like younger, I was in a couple plays at school. and in church you have the Christmas plays and stuff where you act out. So I did some of that stuff, but I mean, I wouldn't want to do that now. So my question is like, did you guys have any of that kind of like I don't know, experiences too when you were younger, and did that kind of like get you to be more open to creating videos when your brother asked you?
I'll let Fro go first. Go ahead, Fro.
So so like in church, I was a bad kid. I was the one that got everyone in trouble in church, Sunday school.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know why. Like I did stuff just because. Um, and so for punishment, I had to be the dude that got to play so and so in the Christmas plays or just any random play that's coming up. So I played like, like so many characters from the Bible. Daniel, Daniel in the Lion's Den, played a couple of
Mm.
angels. You name it, right? Like I mean that was pretty much just on a minuscule level of just me being a bad kid in elementary. But
Did you play the bush too?
no, not
A
the burning
burning
bush.
a burning bush.
I'm just taking the hair. Okay, I'm just like, go ahead.
No, but that's the extent of my acting. Our plays was in church, so that's pretty much it. Like everything else is just me being me, just just weird Fro, I guess.
Okay,
I
so
would
so
say,
I beg.
I think
Go
Fro is
ahead,
like,
Anand.
probably like a natural in front of the camera in terms of like being silly and all that. I think the content we're creating, I think it fits well for him because that's what we want is kind of like comedy plus just having fun.
Mhm.
That's kind of like what we want to create. Nothing too serious. Yeah, we're gonna showcase all these whatever it is the content like VV or other Web3 or NFT or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not just exclusively VV. That's what we're thinking. Is just we're just gonna open it up for anything that promotes the space, like you're saying, know, right? So we were open to all of that. And try to make content that folks can enjoy. Either
Yeah.
comedy or whatever. It's just to enjoy, to
And
discuss.
we've been enjoying a lot of that. I know you guys have dropped a few videos before. I think the last one where it was the Olympic Games, that one was just it was a hit. And so like I kind of want to talk with you, Anon, about the creative process. For me specifically, whenever I'm doing a production, what I try to do, and shout out to Dr. Punchman, he kind of helped me kind of like refine how I do a creative process, how I make something. I mean, everything has to be made in some way, but it has to go from like pen to paper to production to, iteration of whatever you make. So when you're designing, like, say, something, whether it's a script, what are kind of the attributes that you pull from? I mean, like, is this something that just comes out of your head? Do you have like, does there something that motivates you? What's kind of like your inspirations?
Um, I would say Fro is my inspiration because the guy just acts it out, right? And then an idea would pop in my head. Oh man, that's great. So I let him act out certain scenes, or he's just come up with crazy idea, and then I try to piece him together. Let's say like what we're gonna share or the topic like that Olympic, right? Because that it's during the Olympics. Say what if right we do this and this and put this together, and then we would brainstorm and then just to like picture those scenes and then start to build on it, right? And the script would come in, maybe some dialogue, and sometimes maybe no dialogue is good. It's just
Yes.
just the body action, the all of that can
And the sound in the
the sound
background.
itself can create humor, right? So we try to like balance between not too much talking but more like acting, being silly, and the scene, right? So those combination, trying to create the humor from that scene basically. And we just try different things. I mean, sometimes things work, sometimes it doesn't, right? So sometimes we think it's gonna work, and then we try it. Yeah, no, that doesn't come out right, so we try it again. So it's a hit and miss, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of collaboration, me and Fro. I mean, it's not like me coming up with everything. It's both of us collaborating, coming up with ideas, and then we would try it out. If it works, we run with it.
And so like back to the creative and the production portion of it, So when I did pre-records, we did it for the first year before we started doing live streams, and there's a reason we started doing live stream. I am a perfectionist, so when I did the pre-records, I would spend hours upon hours upon hours, and as a perfectionist, I would watch it and I'm like, this sucks," and then I would delete it and try again, and then again, and then after like 3 or 4 to 5 takes, and 4 or 5 days later, I have a production, and I put it out there, and so now I do live streams where it's like way easier. It's kind of like push the button and go, and it's like the Tonight Show, and if you screw up, you screw up. And
Yeah.
so I kind of like that
Yeah.
because like put a gun behind my head and hopefully I don't mess up. And we've been able to do that. But so and what I'm trying to frame here, Anon, is it is not easy to do post production and pre-records. It is not. It takes a long time. You have to really plan things out. You have to make sure all your sound levels are good, your transitions are good, your scene worked out. And so, kind of give us an idea of how long it took to make these 3 videos that the audience is going to watch tonight.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, Fro and I, like I said, we don't have too much time, and this is not our
Yeah.
this is not our day job, right? So we're busy, so we try to find time to do this, and it's not always perfect. So I think we accept that. We accept that because we don't have the time to go through the production process like with like a big studio or whatever, like or being very critical of ourselves. And I think when we accept that, we are willing to run with, well, let's say, even not the perfect scene. I think it's part of it, right? Because it's not professionally made, it's just us. So because of
Mhm.
that, I think we're like, okay, we can, maybe not make it perfect, but it would still the content would still come through the screen, right? Because it's not perfect, right? So that's kind of like my thought, because um having the time, not having the time and not having the staff or people, just between, it's just me and Fro basically, doing this.
Yeah.
So we try to, like, okay, that's good enough. Let's go with it.
No, I feel you on that, and that's why we're doing the live stream, because you're right. And like Fro was just asking before you came on and on, like how was my day, and so it's like I'm literally working, and if I'm not working, I'm with my family, and when they're sleeping, I'm doing content because there's all these things that's kind of running concurrently. And so like it's kind of like you have to balance your time, and depending on when you balance your time, how much you want to give to content, specifically making as a content creator. So I can kind of understand where you're coming from with there. And yes, even though I said I'm a perfectionist, at the end of the day, if you got to get it out the door, you got to get it out the door. And not everything is going to be good. Sometimes it's just going to be okay. And that's all right. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, D.
And a lot of times, like, all the people who produce and create stuff, when it comes to crunch time and they have to put something out, the people who watch it, unless you're like a hardcore, like, you watch everything, we as the viewers don't see those mistakes unless you like go and point it out, like, oh my gosh, I messed up in this blah 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 part. So Hinano would do the same thing, like, oh my gosh, I did this. I'm like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Like, the music is too loud in here. I'm like, it sounds fine to me. Like, I'm just jamming, enjoying what you produce. But I can see, yeah, how like you guys can be like a little hard on yourself because you want to try and get it just right in at your level of
Yeah.
perfection.
Well, like Fro would hear it from me too. It's like, Fro, like, that we should just, take another shot here. That close up would be better. Add this here. And he was like, that's good. That's good. That's good enough. I'm, like you and I know. And I'm like, can we add this to it? He's like,
I'm
So,
my own worst enemy over here.
yeah.
I swear.
So, but it's okay. That's how we collaborate and give and take.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
that's good though. I wanted to ask also maybe like more with well, I guess both of you guys. So the videos that you guys have done and that we've seen before, as well as the ones we're gonna see, like, what was like your hardest one to like come up with, what you wanted to do, the acting, and just executing it, like, which one was that for you?
I'll let Fro maybe touch on maybe some of them, but for me though, I mean, they're all pretty much similar. Once we get an idea going,
Yeah.
it's not really that difficult to actually, start, making a script or having that idea. But it's finding the time to actually do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and and having Fro being character, like, hey, let's get in that character, right?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And you want that right character at that right moment for that right scene,
I
right?
want him to be more expressive. Sometimes he's reserved, and like, I have to get the extra Fro out of him. So I have to poke the bear, and I want the Fro to come out. And when he comes out, man, it comes through the screen, man. That's what I want right there. I want that. When it comes out, man, it makes the scene a lot better.
Yeah, we want you in the tree. That's the Fro we want to see. You know what I mean?
What about you, Fro? What's been your hardest like tolling, I guess, experience in all this?
Gosh, they're all, I wouldn't say hard. They're all fun to do. I think the one that was most challenging was the one where we did the kind of like it's a spin-off of Bigfoot, but it was,
My favorite one.
Oh yeah.
like, so that fall out of the, onto the ground, that was real. That was like,
Hey.
like that fall doesn't look real, Fro. I mean, we need this. We need do it again. So literally, like,
Do it again.
15 feet out of the air and boom! Like I literally bruised my ribs for 3 weeks for that.
Yeah.
How many times
oh
you
my
fell?
gosh.
Too many to count, brother. Like too many to count. Like,
Okay,
so, like,
go ahead.
Real.
Oh,
You
no.
get that realistic, shot.
Well, but
The
that
bruise
was
is
my
real.
favorite one that you guys did because, like, I mean, like the hearing of the leaves, right? Like, shh, come on,
Yeah.
man! Like, and then like he falls. It's like we got to take cover, and I'm like,
So,
this
like,
is gold. You know what I mean?
yeah,
the leaves.
yeah. That's all the Nom too. Nom's like we actually moved the leaves a little bit just so we get the extra stomp.
That's what I
in the-
thought. I'm
in
like,
the
they're like,
crunch.
shh, you know what I mean? When he's walking,
Yeah.
it's a lot of leaf movement.
It
So,
was.
uh,
So yeah, so Nana go and he'll scout out the location and then he'll kind of walk around. It takes probably, a couple of tries for him to scout out a decent location where he feels like it's gonna be the right place to film. Like on the video, we'll see tonight. We moved locations because it just didn't work out. And I was like, no, I don't like it. And this is after we, went through the actual scenes and he's like, no. I'm like, we're done, right? He's like, no, we're not. Get back in the car. Let's go. Like, all right, let's go. We drive into the other spot and then on a walk around, find the perfect spot, set the collectibles, and then he'll imagine me doing the scene. And he's like, that's it right there. This is the spot. And I'm like, okay.
that takes talent to like imagine something there that's not there, and then making that there, and then actually executing that image, object, or whatever. And I could really understand the nuance that takes to do that. And so I commend you on that because like a lot of people don't realize that actually takes work.
Yeah, it
And-
does hours of work.
Just, I mean, I guess, when you're a fan of like, what we're doing, I mean, you don't think about it. Like, you don't want to like overthink it. And if you
Yeah.
have that picture in your head, you want to see, let's see if I can create it. And then I would tell Fro, go ahead and try to do that. You know what I mean? And then it'll either it works, and then we would add, things on top of it, or we say, oh, let's change it a little bit. So sometimes it's on the fly, and that sometimes on the fly works out way better than a script, because it works out.
So I'm going to pivot a little bit because I'm watching the time, and I know you got to leave soon. Anand, Fro and Bro Productions. I really love the name. I know you kind of gave us an idea of what you guys are all about, but kind of give me, basically, how do you guys feel about this, right? Like, I want to know what you guys are feeling. Let me give you an example. We have rebranded to True Media Group, and for me, like, I miss the podcast. Everyone still calls us the podcast. It's just been shelved. It's kind of like sitting on the side in stasis. It'll come back maybe at a later date. But like doing what we're doing now, I have a lot of, I feel like I have a lot of achievement, yet there's still more to be done. And so, but I feel like this is like the next step in the content creation portion, because even though we do have day jobs, we have wives, kids, and we also have life outside of this space. Content creation has become a part of our lives, specifically for D and I, and it's very fulfilling because we get to perpetuate this space. There's opportunity in this space. I like this space. I really consider this, and I believe you said this in the beginning. This is like the new internet. Web3 is the new place, the new tech. I love the AR thing. I love the VR. I love where this space is headed, and I want to be a part of it. And that's part of the reason we make the content. So I would like to know, like, what inspired you guys to like come up with the name, to really want to do this, and what's been so fulfilling about this so far?
Fro, I'll let you go first, and I'll end it.
Well, the name was kind of really hard to come up with, and like I figure I'm like, hey, dude, my name's Fro, and you're like my brother, Fro and Bro, kind of, and that was just kind of like whiskey talking. We do a lot of that, so
Best time for thinking.
Best ideas.
and yeah, and that it just kind of took on of a life of its own, and it's just kind of spun into this where it's like we're gonna do content, we're gonna do more of these silly videos, but like Anand had mentioned before, he wants to branch out, and because he's a big huge L1X collector. Anand's got more, like he's got physicals, he's got a ton of the NFTs, and I have L1X, but not on the level he's at.
I mean, I wish I have like more to spread, right? I mean, when you have Almanex or even VV, Candy,
Cryptoys, yeah.
McFarlane, Cryptoys, right? I mean, you want to branch everywhere, but funds not available to do all of that, right? But
yeah,
but again, I mean, we're just like you, Nano, and you and D. We love this space. It's a new frontier. Like
Yes.
What's this all about? Let's be in it as well, right? Let's make some content and let's see where it goes. So for Fro and Bro Productions is mainly to keep going with creating content that we enjoy, that doesn't really have to depend on anybody else. You know what I mean? We
Yes.
enjoy it because when we put it out, we just want the family and to enjoy. And then when we see that, that's enough for us. We're not out there trying to, like, what, let's see how much we can make out of this, or let's see what we can get, this and that. That's not our goal. I mean, if we do get them, that's awesome. But if it inspires others or whatever it is, or make people happy, that's all we want.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that, G?
I agree. I mean, I've enjoyed the videos that you guys have produced and shared with us, and we're very thankful and honored that you guys have dropped it on Aloha Fridays. So that's like something really special to us, to like start off everyone's weekend, or the start of their weekend off on like a really fun note. Maybe they're having a bad day, or they just need to like get out of their headspace. So just to watch, however long it is, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, it's like, I'm sure people go back and replay it just to have that, chuckle. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys for, blessing us with your premieres on your videos, and sharing it with us, because I've enjoyed it so far, and I'm really excited to watch the ones that you have today. I tried not to watch it beforehand when Fro sends it, because I don't want to be spoiled. So this is going to be really exciting.
I had to watch it because I had to make sure that it looked
Yeah.
good, at least. Because I had to convert the files for it to be played, and I'm pretty sure it's going to look good for all you guys. But before we get into you guys' video, because I'm mindful on your time, this is part of the, and I'm doing the fast forward version, Anand. This is part of the time where we'll let you ask us a question.
Any question?
Any
Well-
question? Well, whether we answer it
Whether
or
we
not.
answer it or not, it's yeah.
No,
But yes, ask away.
I mean, I would like to say, thank you for saying that, and you know, you guys are like family, basically, right? I mean, we met, and I mean, once I met you guys in person, and then how like comfortable I felt, when talking with you guys. I mean, it's natural, just being here and having this conversation. I mean,
People as
Thank you.
advertised, my friend.
exactly how you say it. So yeah, that's why. So, but what do you guys see with your True Media? Like, I know you're saying that you're gonna maybe branch out and do other things, but um, are you seeing like a lot more growth in having more people involved, or you're just gonna keep what you have now and just see you know how it works out?
So my co-producer's right here, and I'm sure she's going to be sending me messages if I say the wrong thing. But to kind of put it in a nutshell, because we're not fully launched yet on what we're going to be doing with True Media. So right now, what you can expect from True Media is the same level of content, if not, we're always trying to better ourselves here and to do more. And so you're just going to see more iterations. I think we just came up with a new show. What we really want to do is to continue the diversity portion of it. I mean, we're in the VV sandbox. We're also with McFarlane. We're also with Cryptoys. Futureverse just came out. I've been a bat cow holder since the mint. I haven't really hung out in the community as much, but I'm trying to be better at that. And so that's kind of the plan here with True Media, is to be kind of like a content creation house for the entire space, where we can provide content for everybody, and it's a diverse content. On Tuesdays you can either do digital comic book collecting with VV Radio, or you can come to Future Watch and learn about this Web3 project or this next collecting project. And then Aloha Fridays, we get a more personal touch. You get to like really get like more of a Joe Rogan style. And so that will continue, as well as adding more stuff to that. And what really helps about having a team is a lot of it can be like divvied up now. I was chatting with Jay East in the back channels, I think early this morning, and I basically told him that D normally does the scheduling part and facilitates like getting the guests on, and I'm more on the production and operations side. So it's more of kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Streamlining the operation, make it more refined, and but continue to perpetuate what we're doing in this space. And that's all I can say about True Media.
Mm.
That sounds pretty awesome.
And as far as growth in the business or in the group, stay tuned for that. But as the four of us, but as for the four of us, we found out that we continue to grow ourselves because we've been learning stuff that we normally wouldn't be doing, and so we're just also kind of expanding um, our talent and putting them to like Raven's talent has like really started like coming out, and like a lot of people didn't know she could do certain things, and it's like she has a creative mind. That's all I can say. um and so yes, we make each other better, and we always like we continue to grow and learn from each other, and learn different things that maybe we were hesitant on trying to learn because we didn't think we could do it. But us four as like a core group coming together, we are finding that we're able to step outside of that thought process and just learn together. So
And I can
yeah.
add one more thing here, Anon, just to kind of like give you at least a sneak peek of what's happening here. I've always said for at least this past 2 years of doing content that I need a clone. I need to clone myself. You ever said that to yourself? Like, I need a clone, right? Yeah. Well, I can tell you this right now. There's going to be two other Hinanos coming up real fast. So just imagine three of me, and we'll leave it at that.
Oh
So
boy.
No,
It's great. Hope that
so
answered your question as best
hope
as we
that
could.
answered your question. Anyways, but let's talk about the video, guys, because I know you got to run and on. What does the audience have to watch tonight? And what will be what's the first thing you guys want me to play?
Go ahead, Fro.
So the first video is gonna be about like it's just a dating game show basically. It's all over TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So we kind of is a play off of that. And essentially, if you go on to the game show, there's a contestant looking for love. There's a couple other contestants of the opposite sex, and they are going to either keep their balloon unpopped, meaning they're interested, or if they pop their balloon, they're not interested in whoever the contestant is that walks out from behind the curtains. So we kind of did a play off of that, and I think the original title of the show is something like "Pop the Balloon" or "Pop for Love" or "Popping for Love." I can't remember, but you know,
Pause.
ours is ours is different. Yeah.
And also, it's very Star Wars
Yeah.
themed,
So
isn't it?
so yeah. So that's what it is. Is that relating it to, of course, May and Star Wars. So we want to mix, you know, the kind of like what's going on in the pop culture and all of that, you know, and then mix it in with, of course, our you know Star Wars and collectibles and things like that.
Cool.
Yeah. The name is not "Popping for Love." That's totally not the name. I think I got that from thinking of our video. So
It's all good.
I don't-
You don't have to.
yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even know what the original name is. So I'm not even going to try.
All right. Well, is there anything else you guys want to tell us before we start it, or should we just roll it?
Roll it, enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a lot of takes on this one.
Roll that
All right,
footage.
guys. Let's go. This is a Fro and Bro premiere right here on Aloha Friday. Can't wait.
Pop the balloon for a love gone wrong. Keep it unpopped if the feelings are strong. Cue the awkward helmet wearing dance for a shot at an intergalactic romance.
Rogue, why did you pop your balloon?
I popped my balloon because I like men who gamble, like with blind boxes and such.
So Harley, why did you pop your balloon?
I popped my balloon because I want a man who likes danger and Fro looks like he runs away from danger.
Electra, why did you pop your balloon?
Well, I popped my balloon because that isn't my boo. I don't know who that stormtrooper is, but that hair looks familiar.
Damn.
Nice.
You better not pop your balloon, D.
What? No. Unpopped. Love that. Love that.
Oh,
Damn, she got a booty.
She got a booty. Pop the. Oh, they love the theme song. That's
Pop
awesome.
the balloon with Arlette.
That Fro got popped on.
That Fro got popped.
Yeah, I left there a loser. I didn't get any. I didn't get any digits.
man.
I didn't get
Oh,
anything.
You had to take a nice cold shower.
Yeah, it was so many dances that we did for me to come on stage. I did like the running man, the moonwalk,
Yeah,
I break danced into it.
bro, I said, man, you gotta get into it. So he came in walk, and then he almost tripped and broke his ankles. I'm like, no, don't do it. So yeah, that move was, it took a while for that part.
How
That was
long
like
did
20
you guys to
takes
shoot
later.
this entire scene? It's like 1 minute and 32 seconds. Like, how long did it take?
Gosh, hours, only because
It's just
I got
character, put your costume on, just the placement of characters and scaling everything and the lighting, and the lighting is another thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it got dark real quick, so like, you know what? We're not
Mm.
gonna be able to see anything. Like I'm in that suit, and then you can't really see, and if
no.
you lose light, basically you can't even see anything.
You're
So we
pretty
have
much shutting your eyes.
all that
Oh
stuff.
wow.
So you're right. I know there's a lot of things you got to think about. Just doing like like what 10-second video can take a while.
You know what's interesting about the scene, though, right? I'm assuming that's a pool. It really didn't look real. It looked like it was a set because you couldn't really see the sky, right? Like, if you go watch that scene again, because I've saw it 3 times, and I just like, wow, this almost looks like a set piece. But I'm assuming it's your backyard or something, right? Or something of that sort. So, but yeah, really great, guys, and I'm pretty sure the audience is enjoying it as well, getting a lot of good
Yeah, they're
feedback
laughing.
down here, guys. Anand, I know you got to run soon because you've got
Yeah.
things to do. Is there anything you want to talk about? Did you guys want to play the next video? How do you want to move forward with this?
You can play the video. I know you guys are gonna do the giveaways and other things. I do gotta run. I appreciate
Yeah.
everything you're doing. I mean, you guys are awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
and similar to
Thank
what
you,
we're
Anand.
trying to do, you guys put out great content and then sharing things with the community. And when I see that, I tell Fro, hey, we're in the same boat. We're trying to grow the space and like our family, that's listening in right now. Appreciate every single one of them. We know them too, right? They're always in a chat with us and motivating us. Meet them in Comic-Con, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna meet a bunch of them in Econ later this
Yeah.
year. So looking forward to that. So yeah,
Are you guys both coming back to Decon this year, Vegas?
Yeah.
we're shooting for it.
Yep.
Well, we'll
Awesome.
see you there. We'll be there as
Room-
well. So.
Yes.
Room's already booked, so we're good.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, they're ahead of us then.
Yeah.
we'll definitely be
Yes.
there. So Anand, you can dip out whenever you want, and I guess I'll just play
Thank
the
you, brother.
second video. And thank you so much, Anand. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you. Revolving door, you're always welcome to come back on. In fact, I'm going to shoot you a DM later for a specific event that we're going to be throwing later.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
course.
Anand. Have a good rest of your evening.
You too.
Thank you, man. Okay, so we are going to play Vader, the Vader one next.
Yeah, the Vader one. So, oh man, this is just as bad as the first one. I apologize in advance for the minute and 32 seconds you're not going to get back. It's so bad. Yeah. We've been wanting to do this one for a long time, and because Star Wars Month, May the 4th.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and just go move forward with this and just go ahead and knock it out. So yeah, it's kind of going off of a painter that we all know, and he likes to paint scenes of nature, and yeah, this one has some nature scenes in it. So that's pretty much it, and sprinkle in some Star Wars, and merge the two together, and we came up with this horrible video. It's so bad.
Whiskey, just a pinch of whiskey, guys. I'm kidding. Shall we roll it? Shall we roll it, guys?
Definitely.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Roll it.
Let's go.
The force flows free like a gentle breeze. A brush in my hand, painting happy VV trees.
Welcome to Painting with Vader. Today we will be painting happy little VV trees. Happy little VV trees. Happy little VV trees. I want to paint happy little trees. Happy little trees on Yoda's face. No, no, not the dark side. Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts.
Paint happy VV trees we must. Mistakes there are not.
I was gonna say that. Is that Dobby as Yoda? Master got a sock.
Master got a brush. Dude,
Oh,
how
that's so
how
bad.
did it feel to have that wig and the mask on? That must have been like hot.
I'll be
So
right
with
back.
the stormtrooper mask, all the dancing that Anon made me do, it was hot. I couldn't see anything. It fogged up. I was tripping. I was trying to like get into this thing where I shot this arrow at one of the girls, and I danced over to her. I mean, it was so bad. Like it just took forever. And I was like, no, I don't like it. Let's roll it again. And I'm like, do it again. And then I moonwalk and I do like the spin Michael Jackson kick, and I spin the thing, and he's like, it's too much. It's too much. Redo it. I'm like, dude, what? This is like the 50th time. So with the Vader mask, it's just as hard to see because it's foggy. You're doing it, Ronnie. we it was a lot of different takes, and like the weather had to cooperate because it started sprinkling, and we had to pause, and then we had to resume later. I mean, it was just a lot of Mother Nature wasn't our friend shooting that one. So we had to just improvise a little bit, and then there was a couple of breaks in between where we like, you know what, let's wrap it up for the day. You're exhausted, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow. And I'm like, tomorrow, dude? Why can't we just finish it now? Like, all right, we'll do it again tomorrow. So, so that play was off of the painter that everybody knows, and he wears the same denim rolled up sleeves, and I thought it was fitting, to get me in that Vader costume and then roll up the sleeves and paint happy little BB trees.
It would have been funny. It would have been funny if, like, when he gets mad, right? All of a sudden, like Vader starts to vape or something, just calm down or something like that.
Yeah, we had like the wardrobe has grown immensely for Fro and Bro Productions.
Okay, so like elaborate on that. Kind of give us an idea. Like when you say the wardrobe's grown now, so you guys have started a production company. So assumingly now you guys are probably upgrading your gear and putting on wardrobe, and because I'm sure with every script you'll have to have some type of mock-up or something like that. So kind of from pen to paper, when you look for the wardrobe and you do all that stuff, like do you go to like Salvation Army? Are you buying stuff from Amazon? Like what's kind of like the inspiration on the wardrobe? Like, because I didn't even think about that. Like, oh yeah, he is wearing like the apron thing for the painter.
Yeah, so like for the stormtrooper, I had to put on white shoes and white pants, and to get into the whole stormtrooper all white costume. I'm like, I don't own any white pants, dude. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, guess who's buying white pants? Right. So
Business write-off.
yeah, exactly. So he's like, you know what? Whatever we buy, just save the receipts. We'll write it off. And so now we're doing purchases, not through Amazon, but through eBay, gearing up for the next projects we have in line. And so we're beefing up our costume department, and not makeup yet, because I look horrible now. I mean, you imagine me with makeup, I even look worse probably. I don't know. or better. who knows? Depends. I need those sleepy eyes, right?
Yeah. Well, here's a trick. I actually dumbed down the camera to 720p so you don't see my pores on my face. So.
Oh, dude, genius! Like, yeah, I got an old computer, so it doesn't allow me to do all that. I don't think.
Well,
I
then
just
you're
whatever.
fine. Then if it's old, then you're good. You know, it's these newer computers. They make you look like you're like fake. You know what I mean? They got a
Yeah,
fake face on or
Like
something, right?
airbrush. Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah, the
um,
costume, like to answer your question, costume department has grown. We've been buying supplies like the paintbrushes, the paint, the little easel, the canvas. So I mean, we don't have stuff laying around the house just because. Like I don't
Yeah.
paint. I had to go
Mhm.
buy all this stuff, and right.
so
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because we did a skit with the Omi homies. So it was a sip and paint, and we didn't have an easel either. And I'm like, well, we'll make one, right? You know, we're in Hawaii. We're low budget here. This channel is like held by baling wire and duct tape. So we made a low budget easel out of cardboard, and
Yep.
it worked out. So
And
Yeah.
it was
Go
yeah,
ahead. I'm
sorry.
sorry, D.
Yeah, it was cool that like for the painting part, like our daughter paints with my father-in-law. And so we like rummaged through her drawers of like, hey, we're gonna use your markers and your paintbrushes. And she's like, what? Are you guys actually gonna paint? I'm like, no, it's just prop. She's like, okay. Like she was like looking so confused. I'm like, I'm
my
glad she
parents are
had a lot
weird.
of that. Yeah. But like, she went along with it, like, okay, just as
Yeah.
long as you bring my stuff back.
No, that's
Yeah, she's a
good.
good
That's
sport.
good that you guys had supplies readily available. Where like with us, when I was like, hey, like I went over to his house and we're sitting at the kitchen, which is the boardroom is his kitchen because we're sipping whiskey and we're
That's the
talking.
boardroom.
It's the boardroom.
I mean, you might as well have it where the food's at. That should be the boardroom, right?
Right?
Yeah, and he had to bring out the script, so we had to write the actual script. It took maybe 2 hours for Picasso.
For Picasso,
But yeah, it's not like a 10-15 minute deal. Like we took hours to write out the script, and he's like crossing stuff over. And no, I don't like that. We should have you say this instead. I'm like, okay, we'll do that. And then some of it during filming just sound right or look right, so Anon changes the script a little bit as we're going. But for the most part, there's an outline of what we need to do and how we need to get there from beginning to end. So that takes a couple hours just hanging out, and whiskey doesn't help because that kind of, it slows everything down. We're like, hey, dude, let's just go and have a cigar
But it
first, and we'll
speeds up
come
the
back.
creative process, brother. It
It
speeds up the
does.
creative process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And it all worked out in the end. I think it's 2 horrible videos back to back. I mean, can we get a third?
Before we
Yeah.
get into the third, Fro, it's my understanding that you guys want to do a giveaway. And can you kind of let the audience know what you guys are going to be giving away?
Okay, so Kryptoni donated the NFT, the Omi Homie, or the Omi NFT hat. So this one I've given away only on Aloha Fridays, and so every time I come on, I'll be kind of giving these. He only has a few left, so the ones he's given me, I'm giving them all away. I'm not keeping a single one. And this is, thank you to Kryptoni for the donation. And then we also have a DC NFT, which is the Batman that we're giving away. And then also a Yoda Light Parade. It's numbered too, from Kid Arcade. So yeah, look at that. Arcade's got so much talent. I mean, that looks insanely good. Look at that.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. And that will go to one of the members in the chat as well. So yeah.
So basically, you
Can you
got.
show them the Batman one?
Oh, and the Batman. Did I miss that? I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's okay.
So it's first place is the hat, right?
Yes.
And then second is the Batman.
Yes, and then the Yoda, just in the order I sent them over. There's really no particular order, but I mean, yeah, like what you said is fine too.
Okay, right here, guys. So
Yeah.
you got the Omi Homie hat, and I do not have one of these hats yet. I'm still trying to figure out, Kryptoni. I will pay you money for this hat. You're the only hat I do not have. I would love to have one of your hats. Let's try to make that happen, man. I'll even pay double because I bought it late. So there's this. There's also the Batman, and right here is the Yoda from Kid Arcade, and beautiful art as always, guys. Enter
Yes.
hashtag May the Force be with you in the chat down below, and whoever wins, we will talk in the DMs, and we'll leave it at that.
Awesome.
Right here, Ronnie Lytle, is that the digital hat or physical, or does that get you both? I think it's just the digital,
Just the
Ronnie.
digital. Yeah.
But there
Just
is
digital.
utility. There's utility that comes with
Utility.
owning this hat. Am I right, Fro?
Yeah.
Yes, Kryptoni is big on utility because he has the other, the Moon Cabbage project, so that's got utility. And this hat definitely, absolutely has utility. I want to say he was giving away the actual physicals at Econ.
Yeah.
I didn't get one.
Yeah,
I would have paid him for it.
but yeah, you had to have the NFT, and you saw Non wearing the hat earlier when he was
Yeah.
on. Yeah, so yeah, those hats are very limited. The NFTs are very limited. So I mean, it's a big deal. With that utility, that I don't know what else Kryptoni's got. Brewing, but I mean, I can imagine it's going to be something you'd want to have. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And shout out to Kryptoni, long-standing member in this space. Really appreciate him. We got to meet him as well in Vegas. Super awesome guy. The biggest bro bumped right into him, and there he was. So, and this was the real Kryptoni, not the fake one that I met in Decon 2022. So now I know.
Nah.
Let's go. Yeah. I'll never forget that. Nah. But shout out to Kryptoni right there. And so, Fro and Bro Productions, I kind of want to go back in that a little bit more. Essentially, you guys have been doing short skits, right? I guess we can just call them just short movies, I guess. Are you guys ever wanting to tackle something a little bit longer than that? Maybe like 5-8 minutes? And I say 5-8 minutes because 5-8 minutes in a pre-recorded world is like maybe a week, 2 weeks of work, or at least for me, because I'm a perfectionist, right? But is that something that's on the docket for you guys to try to make a full-blown movie?
Yeah, absolutely. We not so much longer than 5-8 minutes. Maybe something around that time frame. Just want to keep it within a reasonable amount of time where we'd have to disappear from our real life jobs. But yeah, Anon's always wanted to expand and not just with the BB content, but other projects as well. He has a Bat Cow. He's got Elmo on X. He's got Disney Pinnacle. He's got Crypt Toys. He's got HRO stuff. So I mean, there is a lot of stuff that he wants to touch on, and I think the next video we shoot is going to be something pretty big, something a little bit longer.
Nice.
So yeah, so that one's going to be more thought out, and I think more planning and more wardrobe. So yeah, he is. Anon's always thinking. So he's the brains behind the operation. I'm just a dude in a wig. So I mean, there's no comparison.
It goes hand in hand, though. It goes hand in hand.
Well, yeah, because the wig has to listen to the director, and the director,
The wig. Is that your name?
The wig.
Yeah, one of them directors shares the wig.
The wig.
So good, so good. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. More videos, longer videos, for the more in-depth content that we want to put out. So that's going to be real soon. And there's a lot that he wants to do. He maybe start dropping videos at least once or twice a month, for sure. Once a month from here on out. Maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on our schedule. Because that's the hardest part is the scheduling. If we didn't have jobs, man, we'd be dropping probably 3 videos a week. Because I mean, the stuff that we think of while we're whiskey and VV, or whiskey and cigars, I mean, it's
Brother, it's a lot of work. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, like over here, like I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell everybody watching, it's a lot of work to keep a bunch of shows running, having a baby, making sure that you're also attending to your kids as well as your own day job. Like literally after the stream, guys, guess what? I go back to work. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you're always streaming." Yeah, I'm streaming in between work. You know what I mean? D is
Yeah.
like a really good at hammering out my schedule to like where I can do these streams and then also I can continue to work. And then it's very important when we're doing this, and I know Fro, you can attest to this, is you have to make sure to have family time regardless. I
Hmm.
know D said that we haven't gone to the beach. That's very true. But for a lot of reasons, not just because work and streaming, it's mainly because it's really hard to just go to the beach these days because we just have a 7-month-old baby, and you have to take the whole house with you, and there's a lot of planning involved. Sometimes the baby doesn't want to be at the beach anymore because he's a boy, and if
Yeah.
anyone who had a boy, you guys know exactly what we're going through with the boy. So it's a roller coaster. So but it's been manageable, and what makes it manageable, and I'm sure over time you guys will probably streamline your operation where it's going to be manageable for you too, is you know when we were talking with Anon, and I said we did all the pre-records in the first year. That's kind of what helped us design how the live stream element works. So like a lot of what you guys see, like an example is, let me give you an example right here. Just and I'm not trying to give a lesson here, but that little intro, right? It's like that's all templated to where like if I wanted to make something before you guys came on, I just made that. And I'm like, you know what? This is we're True Media now. I need to have like a little intro for your guys thing, right? I'm gonna make something real quick. Like honestly, because it's templated to do stuff like that, the little system that I've designed here, something that would have taken me like maybe an hour to 2 hours took me 5 minutes before you and Anon popped right in. Like the music, right? You hear music in the background. Well, I've already have an entire folder with like 300 songs that I've created that's only for post production, for background. It's all labeled. And so everything is easy to get attained and drawn. I have templates of what visuals I want to use, and so that 1 year of just doing post production pre-records, Fro, kind of helped us get to where we are now, and it's helped me design a method here by using certain tools, certain services, as well as StreamYards to streamline the entire operation. And so that's how we're able to do this throughout work. Because I imagine what you guys are doing is harder than what we're doing now because we've streamlined our process, right? You guys have to literally do video editing. Now, if I had to do video editing where it's brand new scenes and like I really got to like incorporate the scenes and do all the post production, that's going to take a long time. And so when people always ask, like, oh, how do you run these 7 shows? I don't know how you do it. And like, it's because we had 1 year of doing pre records and another year of doing live streams and incorporating those two methods together. We have a design here. And so that's why when I say like there's going to be clones of me soon, is, the operations here already, just people have to learn how to use it, specifically a proprietary operation that I designed myself. So
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I know hours, like even for just minute and a half videos, I mean, hours go into it because we've shot so much content, and you got to a little narrow it down to which ones you want to use for the video. And
yeah.
so it's like like for the Stormtrooper one, I did probably so many dance scenes, and it was. I think the Australian breakdance kangaroo thing was even in there. It was it's ridiculous, right? So you just got to pick the right one that kind of fits the flow of I guess the video, and then just delete all the rest. But I mean, if we did a blooper reel, probably like an hour long blooper reel, just
Yeah, no, I feel you
Yeah.
on that. Like, like here's a good example. So last night I wanted to like spruce things up, so I made a new intro for Aloha Friday, right? Well, that making the new intro part when the baby went to sleep, I think I started at like 11 and went to bed at 2 because I'm a perfectionist and I needed a certain sound and I wanted to sound a certain way, and I didn't like this sound and I didn't like that sound, and I'm still not happy with the intro that I made because I can hear the imperfections. And so when you're looking at your creations, even they're only a minute and 30, I'm pretty sure from A to B, start to finish, you know every imperfection, every mess up, every screw up in that entire thing. You and I was talking to Tails about this last week, Tails from the Future, about his movie he dropped, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know if you've seen that, the Gotham movie that he just dropped last week with Unreal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I even him, I said, you probably know every imperfection of this film because you have been eat, sleeping, and shedding this film probably for months, right? Just like you've eat, slept, and shit this, your own creations, at least for this past days. Because I'm pretty sure you guys probably did this post production and producing on the fly to get it ready for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was shot in a couple of days, only because weather just wasn't cooperating. So I mean, that's why there's like a difference in lighting. And we had to wait for the perfect time where the sun's not directly in your face, and where we waited just for the perfect time in. Stuff happened where like we couldn't get the right shot, and like there's one scene where we're shooting, and there's joggers running back and forth. So every time a jogger came by, we had to pause, right?
I was gonna say,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah, that works in like public places, right?
Brother, I can
yeah,
completely relate, and I will tell you a funny story after you're done.
yeah, but I mean, there's some that ran by, and they're like, they had their hands up like this, following the camera, and they're like, I don't want to be filmed. Like, we're in a public place. In my mind, I'm thinking that, but I'm like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, absolutely. So we put the camera down, wait for them to get done. And we kind of like, where were we? By the time that happened, the sun was already like setting, and I'm like,
Mm,
dude, now it's too dark. And I was like,
yeah.
we'll push through it. Just run the scene. And then I'm like, all right. And he's like, all right, action. I'm like, so I go through the motions, and I'm like, oh man, this is so bad. So yeah, but I mean, a lot of challenges, a lot of time, effort spent. But as long as everyone laughs, and our
Mhm.
job is done, that's
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
much it.
That's the main thing. And so like I want to give a comparable. So we started this new show called The Future Feed, and it's mainly to kind of like simplify a project or something of that sort in a very TLDR manner. Just to kind of give people like the surface level, a little taste of what a specific thing can be. Like, we've been covering a lot of the Futureverse just because there's so many different legs of that specific project, and so we kind of wanted to go down each one. But like even that, there's post production is involved. You gotta write certain open monologues. You have to have breakdowns so you know what to say on camera. And then after you have the breakdowns, because we also utilize AI to streamline over here, you have to make sure that it's factual. You don't want to be giving wrong information. I feel like sometimes I can do all the information as much as I can, but maybe the information that I got is not relevant, or sometimes I feel like maybe I dumb it down too much. And but like but that's the whole purpose of that specific show, is to really, and I'm not trying to say anyone's dumb, but like really bring it down to like the meat and potato levels of TLDR, to where they scratch the surface, to kind of give them an idea like, ooh, I want to know what this is about. And then we provide all the resources in the comments down below for them to go to every website. We even put the FAQs in there so people can do their own research. But even trying to do a show like that, where you take a bunch of information and you simplify it, is really hard to do, because you have to take all of this and somehow cram it into this and make it 5 minutes. And then you got to shoot the thing. And so, like, I had this one day where, because I live in Hawaii, right? It's hot. Like right now, I'm hot right here. I have to keep the windows shut because someone is cutting grass outside. So, but when no one's outside, I try to leave them open. But then, that's when everyone and their mom wants to go right outside your window. You got the chirping birds. You got the freaking my cat. Because she's hungry. You got my Filipinos. I love my Filipino neighbors because, like, we have this agreement. You make a ton of noise, I make a ton of noise. We don't give a shit. And that's the agreement, right? But man, they love to rev their motors at the worst time. So I did this take for one of the future feeds, and I must have done like 10 or 12 takes, because as soon as I was done, I'd hear a diesel engine pass by. And I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? I gotta record it again. And the next thing you know, someone's like mowing the yard outside. I gotta record it again. Or a freaking bird decides to chirp by the window. I gotta record it again. Or the cat scratching the door. I gotta record it again. And so I got frustrated. I'm not blaming this bird. Stop it. I see you. I'm not blaming this bird. But and then so I asked the biggest bro, would you be willing to like record some of these? And he did one. And I got a message, I think at like 1 a.m. I hope this is good. I did 25 takes. 25 takes? Damn. I thought I was bad, So yeah, doing pre-records I'm not a fan of. I prefer the live stream. I prefer kind of like the Tonight Show format. I prefer to kind of like go on like I'm on live radio. Keeps us on our toes. And I think being on a live stream really helped D and I hone our skills in terms of being on public speaking, because when you're on a live stream you can't mess up. I mean, you can, but like once that happens, right? Like you shouldn't say certain things or whatever, right? So if that makes any sense. So I can understand, to kind of generalize where I was getting at with this point, is it takes a lot of work to put in just like a minute and 30 seconds of a video. And I can only imagine all the pitfalls and all the flaws that you see when you make yours. Before you do the last video, Fro, is there anything that you want to ask us since you're here?
Anon asked the big question I was going to ask, because I wanted to know, like, the future of True Media, the direction of where that's going to head, and Electric Trooper. Oh, he wasn't here for the video.
I don't know if you've seen the other video. You have to rewind my collectibles, but there's we did two videos, and his first one had something referenced that you have here.
Yeah, other than the True Media Group, kind of getting their hands into all of the different, communities and, spreading out. And are there any shows that you think that you might be wanting to dabble into, or is that too like in depth?
No. So like, elaborate a little bit. What do you mean by shows?
So you're doing. So you got 1, 2, 3. You're no longer doing the.
Okay, so we have here's the shows that we have. We have VV Radio, where we cover digital comics and collectibles. Before, we had 2 shows that were running concurrently on the same day, covering the same subject matter. We decided to change that. And so like VV Radio does all the digital comics and collectibles. On Tuesday, after that at night, we do Future Watch, where we dive into Web3 in a more simplified manner.
Right.
And we really, and part of the reason why we wanted to create that show is so we could really connect with the entire space. Because, what we're trying to really do is connect people. We're a people channel. That's what we've always been. That's kind of where our strength is to connect communities. And so that is the goal of that show. On top of that, we have a micro show called Virtual Destinations, which is MetaBeast's show. And we segment that show so MetaBeast can take that recording of that segment and put it on his own YouTube channel. And it's something that MetaBeast and I have worked together with to kind of provide that for him. He used to do that in Spaces. And so now we're giving MetaBeast the visual element and all the production value I'm creating for him. And so and by me doing that for him, he allows us to also venture all these worlds that he's always wanted to do, which was he wanted to like really showcase different metaverses in Virtual Destinations. So that's another micro show. On top of that, we have Enter the Verse, where it's a VV-verse centric show where we cover a lot about the VV-verse. Our daughter comes on, we interact with the community. We had Igor Studios on, and awesome guests. We got to learn about a lot about that person and what they do with the studio. And so that's what that show's about. And then there's a micro show tied to that show as well called VV Cribs, where, a guest comes on. And so that's kind of what we're doing here is like we are creating shows and micro shows within shows. And that's part of our portfolio. And then obviously Aloha Friday, which is my favorite show out of all the shows, because like this is the most relaxed show. This is kind of like a Joe Rogan-esque style show where we get to just kick back, talk story with the community. And this is like somebody asked me the question, like, if there was one show you could only do, which one would be? And it would be this show, just because this is kind of like what the Real Uncommon podcast used to be, right? Like, this is like the only thing that kind of reminds me of what's left from the beginning when we first started this journey. As well as we have other shows as well. That the Seventh Floor, we do movie and TV reviews. We're going to be doing a review on the Thunderbolts, and then lastly, we have Future Feed, where we used to have the community feed, and they used to just cover community content, and now it's mainly for Web3 content, but simplified in a TLDR type of way. So, how many shows was that, Fro?
Kind of like 7. Like, am I off on my math? Like with the mini, like the little. Oh, you forgot the kids corner.
Yeah. I guess that is a little segment. I guess Kids Corner could be another segment. What's up, Sleeping? Good to see you, man.
Sleeping.
Been a while.
Still sleeping.
Yeah.
Let's go. We got Wes in the chat.
And Doctor.
Got Doctor Strange. Let's go. But yeah, no. So what was your question, Fro? Now that I kind of gave you the
answered
the lineup.
No,
okay.
You literally answered it with pretty much all the shows. I mean, I don't think you cover anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a few other things you probably could cover, but until those pop up, like,
so
like you guys.
I'm gonna answer, like, so everyone's like, oh, those are 7 shows. They are, but in reality, 2 of them are micro shows on a different show, right? If you really think about it. So if you just kind of count it down, it's technically 5 shows with 2 other shows on top of the shows, right? But it goes back to kind of what I said, where it's like, in reality, everything is streamlined here, and we've created a proprietary method here to present this content to where we can push it out the door fast. And I don't think we would be able to do and manage these shows with our personal lives if we didn't have this method that we've designed here to specifically distribute these shows out in a live stream manner. Now, a lot of what we do here is in a live stream manner. So there's that as well. But, it's at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. We're just live streaming 5 times, right? That's really what it is. We're live streaming 5 times, and instead of like being the Real Uncommon podcast is what we used to be and live stream 5 times, we've decided to create a network of shows. And I've said it in the past. I don't lie about it, that these shows are our portfolios. It shows people what we can do here, and we're proud of our portfolio because it's super diverse. You know what I mean? Like look at this chat. We have a diverse chat right here. We've got Sleepin', our comic guru on the VV side right here. We have Ascar from Fairside, which is a wallet insurance company right there. You know what I mean? And then we got DDS here, who's in a bunch of other projects. And so that's the idea of what we're trying to accomplish here at True Media, is to be a cohesive connection to the entire space, because we're a big believer in a rising tide lifts all ships. And if we can connect these communities together, and don't get me wrong, we're small potatoes here. We're the underdog in this entire ecosystem, but we don't care. Because like the one thing, and I don't know if you're into this, is we're more about the engagement over the numbers. Because like, you can have like maybe 1,000 people watching you, right, on X or something like that. But do you have 1,000 people that's in your chat? Is there 1,000 people interacting with you in your chat? In reality, you look at your chat to see what your interaction is, right? And that's how we based our content off of who is interacting with us. And for the most time, I can't even keep up with the chat. And so if I can't keep up with the chat, that tells me we're doing a good job. And so that's how I kind of look at the content creation here, as well as the shows. They're just 5 live streams, and we put names to them, if that makes you feel better.
No, dude. It's like, you answered my question and then some. But, I do want to say that the biggest bro and Raven, yeah, a perfect combination. Yeah, I don't know how you guys put the pieces of the puzzle together, but the way those 2 fit in with the True Media group as a whole, beautiful.
They
I couldn't see it without it.
They are stars in their own right, and not only are they stars, they're good streamers. And not only are they good streamers, they're going to be really good at running these productions. I'm just going to tell you
Mhm.
right now. Having one of me and now three of me is going to be so awesome, because then
Ooh.
can you just imagine all the things we can accomplish with three minds of creativity? And not that I'm trying to rule my wife out. My wife is really good at
I'm
facilitation.
stupid.
No,
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 just
she got to
kidding.
stop that. You know what I mean? Like, D is the one that goes out on the streets, and she goes and, she interacts with everybody. You see her in spaces, like she's all over the place, and she's good at doing that kind of stuff. Look, see, everyone's tearing up here.
Aw.
But essentially, it's a cohesive team here. We talk every day. We meet regularly, and then we stay on board. And I think what's big is, like, we don't want to get too big, because when you have too many cooks in the kitchen, it's tough. So it's like, we always try to, like, make sure that we keep each other sane, and we share the workload.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Good.
workload is completely shared, and it's just communication is big. Like, you have to communicate, especially when it's four people. If you don't have good communication, if you don't communicate on the daily, then there's, just to me, because I've run a communication company for like 20 somewhat odd years, and if you don't have good communication with anybody, you're not gonna have a good business. So, like, same thing here with content creation. If you don't have like a good team, the content's not going to be that good. So that's kind of how we look at it here.
No, I agree. And anytime I got a question, I text D, because she's got all the answers. So
She does. Yeah, don't come to me. Yeah, I'm bad at I'm bad at responding to my messages. I know you guys know this, because I'll get to you sooner or later. And look at this guy. Can I submit a 1 month application for internship while the wife is gone? You may not be too far off on this request, my friend. Eyeballs. But anyways, D can climb a tree and grab coconuts. Yes, she can. She totally can. Brother, so I think we should get back to your third and final video. What are we going to be watching here? And kind of give the audience a good idea of what's the last final video of tonight.
Oh, okay. So again, I want to apologize if you guys aren't going to get back this minute and a half ever again. It's so bad. Staying on the Star Wars theme, Anon was like, hey, we got these other characters. How about we do this guy? And because he is younger, maybe he's going to fall in love, or looking for love, or seeking advice for love. I'm like, you know what? That's okay. We can play with that. How do you want to unravel this and, write it out? So he's like, well, we'll start off and have him kind of go and seek some wisdom from other Star Wars characters, and we'll leave it at that. And whatever happens, we got a script, but whatever happens out while filming, we'll just roll with it. So this one is about a young Star Wars character seeking advice from wiser Star Wars characters that has more wisdom to kind of guide him along his journey of love. And that's pretty much it.
Hey, I actually like this character. So, all right, guys, the last video of the night.
R2, what are your thoughts on this Ray chick? You're right. You're right. Rancor, I have a question for you. Oh, shh. Hey, Uncle Luke, I have a quick question. So I like this girl. And she has a grandfather. I think his name is Rumpelpulskin. Or Palpaskin. I can't remember. But hear me out. Oh, shh. So R2 was cool. The Rancor took a swing at me. and Uncle Luke drew his lightsaber. Well, what do you think? Hello? Can you hear me? Never mind.
Oh, shh.
I love that one.
That was a good
Sorry,
one,
you guys.
man.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Man, the Rancor was the best part, man. Oh,
that
I had to so many scenes on that one. So we switched locations on this one too. Like we started shooting at a different location and it got kind of weird. And then we went to this location here where I'm talking to Uncle Luke, right? And joggers running back and forth all day long, man. It was like we were like, all right, I'm getting in character. And then can you imagine being in the suit with this wig and this mask on? And people running by and they're looking at you, right? They're like, they stop and they like,
this is crazy, man.
what are you doing? And then I kind of do this like walk of shame, put my head down, and I walk back to the field, right? Trying to get out of the way. And I'm like, are they gone or not? Are they gone? Can I come back? It was very challenging, and that one took the longest to shoot, I think, only because of all the interactions we had with people, and just it was kind of weird, man. Like but it was fun too, because Anon had me run back and forth with the Rancor. He had me run in, run out, run in, run out, and like he's like, all right, we're keeping this because you look stupid while you're running. Yeah, he was like, dude, you're okay. This is it. This has got to be it. And so yeah, and the Imperial Red Guard doesn't speak. They're silent, right? They don't move.
Yeah.
They're almost like the Queen's Guard at Buckingham Palace.
That's what I figured you were trying to get at right there.
He was like, dude, you got to do this, man. You got to do these dances. So I did so many different dances. No, I like that one. We're going to stick with that one. I'm like, good, because I'm super tired and it's hot in this suit, like in this mask and this wig. So, but yeah, like I hope people laugh. That was the whole thing, was just if people laugh, then our job is done. So
that was my favorite one. Like they were all good, but like that last one was the best. I'm gonna play it one more time for the audience, guys. One more time for the one more time.
R2, what are your thoughts on this Ray chick? You're right. You're right. Rancor, I have a question for you.
Oh, shh.
Hey, Uncle Luke, I have a quick question. So I like this girl. And she has a grandfather. I think his name is Rumpelpulskin. Or Palpaskin. I can't remember. But hear me out.
Oh, shh.
So R2 was cool. The Rancor took a swing at me. And Uncle Luke drew his lightsaber. Well, what do you think? Hello? Can you hear me? Never mind.
Oh, shh.
That's the best, man.
That's the best part.
Oh shit, that one was the best. How long did it take to film that one, man?
Hours. because of the breakup, and like it took hours. So all you see is like a minute and 30 seconds, right? Pretty much, but hours, dude, like hours
Yeah.
went into that. But yeah, oh
Yeah, I can see where it started off really bright in the day, and then when you're going to Uncle Luke, it's a little
shit.
bit darker.
Yeah, because I mean that literally we had to wait for all the joggers to be done with running, and we're like, "Is it safe? Is it safe? We don't want anybody in the background." So all right, I
Mhm.
think they're out of the picture. Let's move, and I like throw everything back on. Like, all right, get in position, and where we mark on the ground where the joggers run over, and I'm like, dude, the mark was right. I swear it was right here, but it's gone, right? So, but
Yeah, that's like one of the best. Yeah, that's what my friend says. He's like, "Oh, shirt." Every time it's like shirt.
yeah, oh it just run off.
No,
So,
that was good,
No,
man.
that was good. You guys did a great
Yeah,
job.
I
yeah,
think.
and go
Go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say was just we're not going to drop the videos until May the 4th. So if anybody wants to rewatch and just laugh again, they'd have to watch your stream over and over just to get the last. So yeah, it's fun making it, and holy, we did three, and we normally drop one, but three
I
in
know.
one live stream. That's insane, right? Like,
And I
so.
love the fact you guys are also making your own music production. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I sense that's AI in the background there, which is great. Thank you for that, and also thank you for allowing us to debut your creations on Aloha Friday. It's
Yes,
it's
100%.
we don't we we really appreciate that kind of stuff because it's like you put in a lot of work. We've been talking about the a lot of work part. We've been talking about the motivation, the inspiration. We have an understanding of like how you guys were as kids. Because I really wanted to kind of frame these questions to kind of have a good viewpoint of why you guys decided to create content, and you guys explained that to everybody. And making this content takes a lot of work. You guys just said it yourself. You give up parts of your time to do that. And so to allow us to debut it for you folks, we really appreciate that. And we don't take that lightly. So thank you so much. Appreciate you, Anon. I know you're watching in the background. I told Fro, where's the invite, man? We would love to come over one time when we're in Cali. I think it would be a great idea. But Fro, this has been awesome. I think we're gonna run these giveaways and then we'll have our final talks and then we're probably gonna get out of here, man. But this has been awesome. I hope the audience enjoyed the content that they saw tonight. And if you guys want to ask Fro anything, go right ahead. I'm going to get the giveaway tool ready. D, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say once again, thank you so much, Fro and Anon, for coming on and just giving us a lot of your time and just sharing that with us and the audience. And the people in the chats are enjoying it, and so I thank the audience too for coming and listening and watching and just enjoying themselves, as it should be on Friday, or if it's Saturday for you, continuing your weekend, on a really positive and funny way. um, yeah, so I'm probably gonna go and just rewatch it again because they're funny. Um, and I have the little dude here with me, and he was watching the he can't hear the sound, but he was watching the last one, so I think he got a kick
Pilot.
out of that. Yeah, and I gotta show the kid because she really loves Ray. That's like her favorite character, so I gotta show
Good,
her.
good.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the videos that you guys put out.
Plus, Punchline is wanting to do video production. She's wanting to create her own channel. That's something that we're slowly working on. I was going to try to do it a little bit earlier, but since summer's coming up, this will be a perfect time. We're a media group, so why not have dear old dad try to help her out
Yeah.
with that? And so she'll probably be streaming on a YouTube channel with her Roblox stuff going forward for the summer. So we'll let you guys see that because we're going to do the avatar thing. Thank you, Auntie Raven, down in the chats below because that's inspired Punchline to make her own. And so, but yeah, guys, this has been the show tonight. This has been really awesome. It's been a Star Wars centric type of show with content from Fro and Bro Productions. Um, Once again, guys, enter the giveaway. There is something that is donated from Fro and Bro Productions. We have the Omi Homie digital hat from Kryptoni. We have this McFarlane Toys digital Batman, as well as a Kid Arcade light parade of Yoda right here. And this is donated from Fro and Bro Productions. So if you want to win something in the chat, enter hashtag May the Force be with you. And whoever are the winners, we will reach out to you at the end of the show, and we'll get that squared away in the back channels. But guys, this has been awesome. By the way, yeah, I'm sorry. First place, second, third. First, second, third. Let's go. D, close out the show. Actually, before that, Bro, final word.
Thank you guys both for letting me and my brother come on and to premiere our videos, man. It's just a great space for us to, we feel comfortable, and for us to just share, just the content that we put out. And yeah, True Media Group. I mean, you guys probably can tell I poke my head in every time you guys are live streaming on one of the 5 different episodes whenever I can. So yeah, I mean, I love seeing it. I love watching it. It makes good conversation for a long drive. If I got to drive here or there and I'm 2-3 hours out, I'll play it. And if I can type, I know I'll pull over D when I type, and I'll get back on.
I was gonna say. I'm gonna text you. Pull over and text.
Yeah, I do. And yeah, love it. I love all the shows, all the content. And once again, the biggest bro and Raven, I mean, chef's kiss. I mean, that was perfect pieces to the puzzle. And I love to see more of it. So yeah, thanks again for having me on.
Well, to quote the biggest bro, and I'll say it, we have the best team in the world. So let's go. And also, guys, we'll have other announcements coming soon because we do have a new program that we're going to be starting. And, more to come with that probably on our next episode, which will be either on VV Radio or Future Watch. Before we go, I'm going to have D close us out. But Fro, this has been awesome. Always stoked to have you on here, brother. Fro was like our second guest when we first started our YouTube channel, and he's just been a pivotal part of this entire channel, this YouTube channel, from the very start. I like to call Fro Andy because he is like the one guest that has been on the show the most. So he's literally the couch around here. So and Fro has Fro knows, he doesn't need to be invited here. He just has to tell me when he's showing up, and he just shows up because Andy don't need an invitation to his own show. So appreciate you, Fro. Appreciate you as well, Anonh. Awesome to have you guys on. D, close out the show.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for being here and showing support, having some laughs. And I hope whatever you do this weekend, it's filled with lots of laughter and all good things. Good luck to everyone who is going for any of the Star Wars drop that's coming. And if you're gonna go watch Thunderbolts, let me know what you think about it after Sunday, because we're gonna go watch it on Sunday. So don't spoil it for us. But yeah, until next time, thank you everybody for just being here and enjoying the show.
And with that being said, guys, good luck. This is for the Omi Homie hat, donated by Kryptoni and Fro and Bro Productions. Let's see who is going to be the first winner of tonight. Kiwi Jezza, let's go.
Yay,
congratulations,
Kiwi.
fam. We will reach out in the DMs, and big congrats to you. Let's go for the second place winner right here. Good luck. This is for the McFarlane Toys digital Batman. Let's see who's going to be the winner, and may the juju be with you. Richard, the mean bean himself, keeping everyone safe and secure. Shout out to you, Richard. We will be reaching out in the back channels at the end of the show. And then lastly, guys, this is for the Kid Arcade Light Parade of Yoda. Final winner of the night. Shout out to Fro and Bro Productions for donating the giveaways tonight. We appreciate you guys. Key Comics, let's go. Brody, these hands are for you. And I swear they're washed. So, bad
Oh,
joke, bad joke. Yes.
one more thing. Just want to wish our own Daredevil a happy birthday, Chris.
That's
He
right.
just made it in the chat. That's awesome.
Happy
Hope you
birthday,
have a
brother.
good
In fact, you know what, Chris? Look in your wallet because there's something that's going to pop in. Happy birthday to this guy. Guys, blow up his DMs, blow up the chats. Make sure this guy feels the love right here. You know, the number one OG, the nostalgia resparked. We all love him. We met him in Maui. Let's go. Watch out, though. If you meet him in person, you may not be able to stop talking. Chris Severs, we appreciate you, brother, and we love you. And also the ambassador to Canada himself. Round of applause to this guy. Let's go. And there we go right there. All right. D, close out the show. Or did you do that already?
Yeah,
You're
I
muted.
did.
Okay.
I did close out the show, but also, we got G-Lo in the house, so everybody's
Is G-Lo here?
Happy
Let's
Aloha
go.
Friday.
What's up, G-Lo? Another Hawaiian in
awesome.
the space. I love it, you guys. This has been awesome. I really appreciate everyone for tuning in. We appreciate everyone for tuning in every single time. And once again, yes, happy birthday to Daredevil right here. Spam him. Make sure every single Discord, DM, whatever, blow it up for this guy. It's his birthday and he deserves it. Guys, this has been the show. Brother Fro, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. And guys, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care and aloha.
Bye.